It doesn't bust, it won't do anything. Look at it. So now I want to tell you guys how I overcome 3 surgery in 2023. Undergo, when I mean how I undergo 3 surgery in 2023. Keep tuned and watch to the last of this video. Okay, how I undergo 3 surgery in 2023. Okay, after my UK experience, like doing the first surgery and putting the first implant, that's the implant. This is the implant I showed you guys, right? So this is my first implant. I have this like 4 in my house. I have this like 4. So after my experience in the UK, I now started researching. I research and I research, and I'm like, okay, this is it now. And I now have like 2 or 3 people that went to the same hospital to do their surgery. So I now went to Turkey. I went to Turkey to redo my implant. So before I went to Turkey, I contacted the hospital. So they have to ask me to send my picture before and after, and yeah, they asked me if I have any health history. I don't have any health history. The only history I know, my sugar level is high. That's the only history I know. So I told them, they now asked me to have to do a test from where I'm resident, then or my home country, then send it to them, which everything was perfectly well and done. I sent that to them. So they now gave me my surgery date. I should choose when I need to come there. And I choose when the children is on holiday, because as a mother, I look after my children. My husband walks away, so I'm the only one with my business and everything. So now I now choose my dates. So I traveled June. Sorry, I traveled June. I went to undergo my surgery again. Then after everything, that was a major surgery anyway, because they have to like cut out the excess skin, because after having a birth, you know how the breast will be. The breast is like pointing on the floor. And when I went to do it in the UK, instead of them doing it, they now told me putting this implant will make everything to be okay. So when they put this implant, because of the heavy, this is 500 cc. So because of the heavy of this implant, it dropped it straight away. So now I have to make it firm like what you're seeing now. So they have to cut excess of my breast, and you know, before they will put put another new implant. So that's like a big surgery. So after 5 days, I left Turkey. I came back to the UK. Now with the pains and everything, I was like trying to heal, because it would take like a couple of days for you to like be okay before you start. From 2 weeks you can start moving a little bit, but you cannot lift because you have a cut. So the surface might heal, but inside is not healed. Before I left Turkey, when the nurse came to my hotel room to check, that was the first time they opened my breast for them to check if everything was okay. I saw there was like a little bit of open, like the stitching is not really sewed. So I complained that this stitch, I don't understand, it's not really. So they now said to me I shouldn't worry, it will cover and it will heal on its own. So I wasn't the one even dressing myself. I'm like, okay. So when I left Turkey after 5 days, because they said it's 5 days, since it's breast, I did not do major operation. So I'm like, okay. And I've done it before, but what I did before was minor compared to what I did in Turkey. So and I came back, you know, now mother looking after kids. So here and there your children will shout, they will have some argument and stuff like that. I was trying to sleep one afternoon, like that was like the 8th day. So I just had them like screaming here. I was like, oh my goodness me. So that day passed. The next day, I said, let me just go for a wash. I saw where I complained before I came back, it was opened. I'm like, what's going on here? And the next thing, it started, I think infection went in or something, or because I was coming back from airport, I don't know what happened with it. I can't really tell what really happened with it. So I started like having problem on that one breast. So straight away, I reached out to the hospital. I told them, these are my experience. They said I should take one antibiotics like that. And you know they cannot just give you antibiotics in the UK. It has to be prescribed. So I now rushed down to my GP. I explained, and my GP looked at it. They now prescribe an antibiotics that I would take, but it wasn't the antibiotics that the hospital asked me to take. They now gave me a dressing. After 2 days, I thought taking these antibiotics, the thing would stop. After 2 days, the discharge was much, and I'm dressing this thing. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on here? So I started contacting the hospital. Instead of them asking me to come back, they said because they've given me antibiotics that everything will be okay. I'm like, okay, no problem about that. So after 2 days, I wasn't really comfortable. I have to go for an emergency in the UK. So I told them everything that was happening, and they checked me. My health, everything was fine. They asked me when I did it. I told them the date and everything. So they now put me antibiotics by drip. So they were putting me antibiotics by drip for the past 2 days. It wasn't still stopping. So they now told me that they would do a scan. Let them check if the breast is fine. So they did a scan. My breast tissue was still fine. So they now advised me to go back where I did it for the implant to be removed. So it will be healed. If I can decide to do it again, it's up to me. That moment, that moment, I'm like, what is going on? Now, when a surgeon talks to you, I'm telling you the truth. And this is why I'm advising people, before you go out for any operation, make sure that you're ready for it. Not the amount of research. Any surgery or plastic surgery is 50-50. I am telling you from my experience. It's 50-50. If I don't have money, I could have been screwed. That point, that was when I knew that actually my customers, they are actually my friends. Okay? When you have a problem, you can never get a genuine friend that will stand by you. When you have a problem, that's when you will know your real friends. When my issue was going on, that's when I discovered I have no friend. My customers, they were my friends. And I was talking, I have like, if I'm not mistaken, I have like 10 customers or more that we do like talk. Anytime they didn't see me or hear my voice, they will call me, oh, Candy, are you okay? But there's one particular customer that since 5 years, she located me. She has been a friend, not just a customer. She has been a friend. Okay. So when I was going through that stuff, my mood changed. You know, after hospital told you that you have to go back for them to remove the implant. Imagine what was running on my head. I'm like, why me? I thought my village people came for me. As I keep asking myself, why me? And I'm going to expensive places. Why me? The hospital I went is not even cheap. In Turkey, I was going, what is really going on? That moment, when they discharged me from the UK hospital, I came back home. I wasn't myself. But the only thing I was thinking was, I will do it. I will never give up. That was just all I have. Then when I discussed with a friend, they started laughing at me. So I didn't even know. I wasn't like I wasn't I wasn't strong enough to run my business. I started losing hope in everything. Customers will come to me. The only good thing I know is I was still attending to customers. I couldn't come up to do a live video like the way I used to. A lot of people were missing me. They were like, Candy, what is going on? But inside my head, I was going through a lot. I was asking myself, I thought when you do a surgery, they won't operate you after 6 months. But God came for me. God came for me. So I prepared myself. I traveled August. This is like 2 months after my surgery. When I traveled back to Turkey. When the doctor saw it, I said, I mentioned this to you guys, but nobody listened to me. Just because you guys have collected your money, you don't know about your patient anymore. That was what I told the doctor. I said, if you guys corrected this thing, I wouldn't have been here today. I know what I passed through after 8 days of going for surgery. And now I'm coming for undergo another surgery. So the doctor now told me, because of the incident, I would just have to pay the hospital. I wouldn't pay him to undergo it again, like to remove my implant. I'm like, are you people joking me? That was what came out from my mouth. Are you joking? So I have no option. I have to pay another £2,200 to remove my implant. So now my doctor now said, when you remove it, your breast is firm. No, and it's true, but the only thing is smaller. Your breast is firm. It's fine. All you just have to do, after 6 months, you come back, we'll redo it back. So I just said to myself, you know what? Just remove this. When I paid, the next morning, they came to take me from my hotel room. They took the implant out. So I left. One breast has an implant, one does not have an implant. I don't even know which one now. So I left with no implant. Now, I was so down. After 2 days, when they remove, like when they open me, I don't want to look at the mirror. All I was asking myself is, what have I done? I know some people will have money and they will be struggling, suffering. What exactly have I done? So the first day I looked at the mirror, my breast wasn't that bad. But you can imagine one breast have an implant and one does not have implants. Because I asked the doctor to take the two off. The doctor refused. He said one is fine. I should just take one out. That's 6 months time I should come back. So he took that one off. I hated myself. I hated everything around me. The thing that was giving me hope was my children and my business. I told myself, if I die today, people will only talk about Candy Love just for a week, and that's it. But my children, my family will remember the memory to the last day of their life. That was what kept me. I used to have a bar in my house for drinking. I took all the bars. I threw all the drinks away because if I handle that bottle at that moment, I might become an alcoholic because You know, when you hated yourself, you hated everything. You like, I don't want to touch my business. I don't want to do anything. But time to time, I will still try to run my business, like to come live. But you know what? People were buying my products. Like, I was really shocked. Now, posting it, some morning, some days, I couldn't do it. My son will come to me. He will say to me, Mom, you can do it. I'm going to package all of these things. I'm going to ship it out ship it out international. Mom, you can do it. Just be grateful that your business is still functioning. So what is it that you're thinking about? That's what my son always. Then another customer that was very closer to me, every day for the last 3 months, because I couldn't handle it again. When I came out from the surgery, I asked them, they said my breast tissue was fine, which is fine. I couldn't handle it again. That lady was calling me every single day to make sure I'm fine. Why, my friends, they were laughing at me that my surgery went wrong. So all I did now was to try my best, still handle my business the way it should be, still hand over all my tax papers, still did everything that year. But within me, I wasn't fine. I was using one implant and I was wearing bra. Sometimes the implant will come up. It will come up. It wasn't okay for me. I went to buy all the bra that has a foam. I have to take one foam out and one has a foam. Then I will now, the foam I took out from one of the breasts, I don't know if it's this one, then I will now use it to make that to be the same. That was how I was going. After 3 months, I contacted, why would I be waiting? Because this is now making me to hate myself. And now I'm a beautiful woman. I said to myself, why would I wait? I contacted another doctor. When I contacted, I explained everything. He said, if your breast tissue is fine, you don't have to wait for 6 months. I'm like, really? He said, yes. So when he billed me, because it's something that they want to repair, I said, okay, when repairing it, is that okay that you should remove the other silicone? Because I don't want to be thinking about Turkey while I'm thinking about another country. He said, yeah, sure. Because you've paid for it. So the money was double. If you have a problem in surgery, make sure you have money. Seriously, because repairing and removing it is the biggest problem on earth. So I said, okay. I booked. I traveled. And when I booked, I said to myself, hey, I'm not coming back to my house because my kids will make me to go crazy. You know, when they want to start their arguments and you did a surgery, this is the 3rd time. I said, I'm not coming back. I will fly from the country I went to do it in America, fly back to Africa. That was what I said to myself. So that was what happened. So when I did my surgery, like 10 days before Christmas. I was on pains. Everybody was enjoying Christmas. I was enjoying pains. So everything went successful. Thank God about that. Everything went successful. If it's not, I'm recording myself. If I open my breast, it will look as if I did nothing. Everything bounced back. I was so shocked that I could recover myself again. I could be a woman again. Everything went successful. So I mentioned something on my Instagram, my personal page on Instagram, Gucci Candy, to that thank God for undergoing 3 surgery that year. That I will talk about it next year. But last year, I was still down, being shocked, like, if my business wasn't this big, if I didn't have money, or if my husband is not there, what will happen to me? So this is why people always beg for money, beg for help, beg for a lot of things. Do not criticize anyone that is down, because it might happen to you tomorrow. This is my journey of implant. But thank God today, I have a beautiful implant. I sleep. I do anything I want to do with it. It's fine and it's perfect. So I used last year to heal myself properly, and I bounced back. I said, I am coming back to my YouTuber. So this is your Candy Love Nature Care, the one you know on Instagram, the Candy Love you know on Facebook, the Candy Love you know on TikTok, and the Beauty Tip by Candy Love you know on YouTube. I am back for you with a big smile on my face. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to share, love, and subscribe on this video. God bless you all for watching. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I will see you next week.